Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hangout Cafe Live on Zoom. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm super excited about this session today because we have how do I put it now? An amazing man who has an amazing testimony. And if you want to hear his story, you have to or not just his story, his testimony. You have to watch the episode that we did. I think it was about 2 years ago now or
Coming
so.
up to 3 years.
Are you serious? 3 years already?
Yeah, in
Wow.
2022. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness, how
yeah.
time flies. So you have to watch it on our
Oh,
YouTube channel. And it was the title was Miracles Still Happen or Miracles,
yes.
something like that. Okay. Bolaji Yoloye. So, Hangout Cafe folks, please join me in welcoming for the second time to Hangout Cafe Mr. Bolaji Yoloye, and he's going to share just a little bit about himself. Bolaji, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us back again on the platform. So grateful for that opportunity. Yes, my name is Bolaji Yoloye. Some people call me the Black Lazarus, the Miracle Man. There's a whole story behind that that's been alluded to in the testimony. And the sole purpose of today is that miracles don't happen just for any reason. There's a purpose, and I believe that's why I'm here to speak to you guys about that. Yeah, as some of you know, I'm a cardiac arrest survivor. The chances of that happening is less than 1 in 10%. The odds of having insurance in place is even less, and then for it to pay out is even less as well. So, uh, probability, luck, whatever, God put me here to talk to you guys today. I think that's as concise as I can put it.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, God definitely did put you here for, as they say, such a time as this to testify. Um, but also I think for us to learn, because Hangout Cafe platform is not just about people sharing their stories, but also we try as best as we can to educate, to inform people,
Yeah.
because there's so many things that we don't know. And as they say, knowledge is key. Um, but let's go back a bit, Bolaji during the time when you were in a coma, because he was in a coma for how many days or how many, was it a month?
Yeah, a month.
A month. He was in a coma for a month. So you can coma for a month. What did your wife later tell you about what she faced whilst you were in a coma?
Um, some of the things I found out were a bit shocking to me because I thought I had the groundwork already done.
Okay.
Firstborn responsibility, um, son of a single parent household. So one who you have all my direct debits and all that kind of things, you have access. Well, she couldn't speak to the bank because she didn't have legal power of attorney. So, lasting power of attorney, rather. Lasting power of attorney. Uh, yeah, we can speak into that in more detail, but lasting power of attorney is very important. She couldn't access the bank. Got school fees going on. One of the schools hounding her for the school fees money, even though they knew the husband was in a coma. Yeah, and she had to shield the kids from the pressures that were going on as well. And in fact, Jury had just started secondary school. So how he came through that is a testimony to God's presence in our lives and his resilience as well. Yeah.
So you can imagine it was a traumatic time for the whole family. I mean,
Yep.
because you were in a coma, you were not aware of what was going on anyway. But for
No,
them,
I was having a nice nap, as I call it.
yeah,
A
I mean,
siesta.
nice. But for everyone else, it was like, yes, he's in a coma. By the grace of God, everyone was praying that you'll survive. But then Wanu had this challenge of finance, not be able to access your account to pay the mortgage and all of that. That must have been. so traumatic for her. Double, in fact, it was double trauma for her at this particular time. So, before we continue with this faith thing, because the challenge we have is that a lot of us, most of us here, I believe, are Christians. A lot of us are Christians. Even if we are not, sometimes people just think that these things will never happen. And we pray.
Mm.
We honestly pray that they will never happen to us. But we know that they do happen. And but let me ask this question. What was the hardest realization for you when you became aware of the financial limitations that she experienced?
Ask that question again so I can, if
So
you don't mind.
what was the hardest, how difficult was it for you? Thinking about when she told you that she had limited access to your financial to your accounts. So what how did you feel when you became aware of the financial limitations that she experienced? How did that make you feel as a husband, father?
I felt that my lack of financial education had been exposed. I think that's as good as it
Mm,
can get.
mm,
Because even then, from a young age, I'd always been into entrepreneurship and stuff like that. My mom, to fend for herself, she rented a taxi for them to help to pay for the school fees back in Nigeria. So it's always been in my background, but to not have that and have that exposed as well was a bit uh, stressful. But she knew I had critical illness cover
okay.
coming out. She also knew that because of the company I joined, folks, whatever contracts you join with any company, don't just look at the salary, look at the sick pay, the death in service, all that stuff. Because then I knew that I had 3 months full pay guaranteed, and another, I think it was 6 months half pay guaranteed as well. So very, very important. So that sort of mitigated the um,
But I remember when we
shock.
were talking, you said she knew that you had the critical, but she couldn't access it.
Yes, because yeah, because even though I'd already had that in place, but because she didn't have that lasting power of attorney, she couldn't access it. Post coma, I didn't know what year it was. I couldn't put my clothes on. So, is this the guy who's going to sign or give the authority? So, no. Uh, in sorry, and yeah, thankfully that's eventually resolved. So I think she had to go to court at some point. They had to go to court. But the
Wow.
lasting power of attorney, all it takes is to go online. I think it was 80 something pounds back then. It's probably now 92
It's
pounds.
92 now, yeah.
92.
Yeah.
Just go online. Okay, it's a bit tedious, yes, but you save a whole bunch of legal fees. And you know that if anything happens to you, then your partner can step in and, as we Nigerians say, do the necessary.
It's necessary. So, Balaji, you've said that many believers trust God completely, yet
Mm.
they leave their families financially exposed. What do you mean by that?
Hmm. The God forbid catchphrase. Uh, if you say God forbid and you don't take protection, it's like I dare them to leave their door open overnight. God forbid a burglar won't come in and rob your house.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
I mean
yeah, yeah,
what is it? Faith without works is empty. I think is dead. That's the scripture, and
yeah.
that's it's all right about trusting the Bible. That's true, but in the Bible, Jesus talked about a lot of things. He talked about the kingdom of heaven. Number two was on financial discipline and money.
Yeah.
ChatGPT told me, so you can double check that as well if you have any doubts on that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, and that's God forbid thing. I'm passionate about this because a lot of people are suffering. I mean, there's a church, true story. Three members of the congregation died within weeks or months of each other. Now they're all going to the church for financial support for burial and stuff like that. Now the church is financially stretched.
Mm, mm. Okay, yeah, and you know this thing about faith. I remember when I had my shop, when I was opening my shop, and I remember I wanted to put a shutter in front of the shop, but it was expensive. And I remember going to Dr. Onuzo. Dr. Onuzo was my spiritual father. A few people know him.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, Dr. Onuzo, should I get a shutter, or should I just pray and have faith that no one is going to break into the shop? And I love that man. He said, get the shutter. That's be practical. That do you want every day when you're leaving the shop, you'll be praying, God, let nobody break into the shop, or when you're going in the morning, you're praying that, oh, when I get there, the shop wouldn't have broken into. Practical faith,
Yeah.
Use that prayer for something else. That was what he was saying. And I think a lot of us, we are like that. And nobody really wants to die, but again, you don't know when your time will be up.
Yeah.
So when injury is going I think I posted something about, you don't know when that, God forbid, accident will happen. You don't know when that illness is going to strike. So I think we owe it to ourselves. And also because God has said we should be wise to have all these things in place. So Bolaji, when you came out of the coma, you got better and all of that. How did your life change in terms of all these things? Because you thought you had everything in place. You thought you had provided for your family as best as you can. So tell us, how did your life change for the better?
From the first instance, one of the things that happened was I thank God for the sick pay and the critical illness, but I did not have income protection in place. That's one thing I recommend as your first priority, even as a single person, you need to have that. Because with three kids going to school fees, to private school and the mortgage, you had $250,000, whatever. Each month, a huge chunk of that $250,000 is coming out of the bank accounts. And then again, true story, a person had a critical illness payout, had to sell their house because the bills were still going. So I wished we'd had that back then. So, and that was the beginning of my journey towards what I do now, what I'm passionate about. Many of you know me. I'm Wanu's husband, Wanu's boyfriend before then. The introverts, when I want to talk in, I find a nice corner to just get away from the noise. But I'm passionate about this. This is, I think, what God has brought me to do, to educate. And what I do, in a way, is changing generations. A single mother, I won't give too much away about how many kids she has, sacrificing £13 a month to guarantee £100,000 for her children. I've changed their generations. That's one of the things that I'm really, really passionate about.
Great. Thank you for that. I think one of what you posted, is that the what's it called? Is that the power of attorney thing that you posted?
Oh, okay, that's great. Okay.
I think that's what she posted. Okay.
Okay. So, one has posted the link in the chat for more info on the lasting power of attorney.
Okay. And there are two types. There's the one for health, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then the one for the finances.
Yeah, for like the estate planning, just making sure. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Let me ask the people who have joined us today, and please be honest. Please be honest. The question is, do you see yourself as a planner, or do you see yourself as a let God lead type?
Let's do a poll on this one.
Yes, let's do a poll. Planner to the core. Here we see, okay. Planner. That's good. Very strict planner. That's Bumi. Planner. Okay. Well, that's good. So if you're all saying that, no one has said let God lead. Everyone is saying planner. Okay. Faith has its place. Absolutely. Planner. Okay. A
It
mix.
makes
So if you say you're a planner, then I want to believe that some of the things we're talking about, that you have these things in place. So he's talked about income protection. So will that be the number one, Bolaji, income protection
uh,
if you're
yes.
employed?
Yeah, I'll recommend. Okay, especially for business owners.
Okay.
You're running a business. Again, true story. Electrician, he's torn his bicep. He has no income protection.
Mm,
Is that the person you want wiring your house,
mm,
working through that pain? I I know, sorry, maybe seem a bit harsh and dismissive, but income protection helps you for you to recover in a dignified way rather than going through um pain. You may be at a top job, you have a year's sick pay, 2 years sick pay, but a lot of illnesses go longer than that. We know within uh the company that I do a lot of business with, they're supporting a couple of people who are going through mental health challenges for 5 or 6 years. They can't go back to work.
mm.
And that's one of the things that I do. I start out by recommending income protection till age 70. So that's the most robust income protection um, that you can have. Then you could go 5 years, 2 years, then 1 year. But at least you will always know that uh, there's a guaranteed income coming in
Yeah.
should anything happen. Yeah.
Okay, let's go through a list of some of these things. So there's income protection, there's critical illness, there's power of attorney,
Hmm.
there's the will. What else do we have? Insurance. So even building insurance, life insurance, all of
Yeah.
those things. So in order of priority, because I know that especially for someone who's not done, I mean, I've seen people have said, oh, they have life. Some said they have power of attorney. In order of priority, let's start. So the first one you said is income protection, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then what would you say is the next one?
So the next one for me is usually a choice between life or serious illness. That depends on your aspects. Serious illness is the most expensive of the lot, so budget is an issue. Critical serious illness will be the last one, but life will be next because you're covering a situation if, God forbid, if you were ever to pass away, there's you can zero out all your debts, for example,
Yeah.
or you can leave a lasting inheritance behind. So what I tend to recommend and what I've done for a lot of my clients is that I cover them till age 90.
Okay.
So uh
That's critical illness
so
or
this is life insurance
life
now.
insurance.
So
Okay.
we're talking life insurance
Life
now. So
insurance. Okay.
life insurance to pay out back in the day, they sold us policies till age 50, 70, but we're all living longer than that. So till age 90. My policies are all in trust. What does that mean? It means that when it pays out, it avoids probate.
Hmm.
It goes to the beneficiaries that you've named as
Right.
well.
Okay.
And it's completely shielded from inheritance tax. So you won't have to. I've seen situations where the insurance is paid out. The taxman goes, "Oh, it's not in trust. I'll have some of that." And then they have to sell the house to satisfy the taxman
Right.
before the rest is paid out to the loved ones.
Okay. Uh, someone just asked a question. So, which will let's answer that and then we'll continue. She said, did you make any other changes apart from, for example, diet, lifestyle, health, and all of that after the incident, sorry.
Good question. I'll come to that. I just want to nail down on life insurance.
Okay.
A lot of people say, oh, it's in trust, it's in trust, it's in trust. Unless you have liquid assets worth over 1 million, the trust is not really needed. What you need is a will. A
Okay.
will to make sure that the right person you've named on the will receives your assets and things like that. A lot of people may not know, but you need to check your finances. If you got one or two buy-to-lets, you've gone over that threshold, and the taxman will take 40% of that wealth that you've accumulated during your lifetime. But life insurance also avoids a situation where there's an unexpected death, and I'm sorry to say, there's a GoFundMe scrambling for funeral costs and things like that. There's the average funeral costs about 6 to 10K from what I understand.
Mm.
Um, so what I've done for some business owners is that we use something called a relevant life policy.
What does
I
that
won't go
mean?
into the
Relevant life.
technicalities, but there's enough to cover their own personal death and service. Then a small slice, 20K. Say, okay, by a certain age, my kids are going to be multimillionaires. Direct quotes I've heard from, if they're not multimillionaires by 80, failed. If not, there's still something that will pay for the funeral costs. Everyone will have a nice party. They won't be scrambling around and stuff. So that's on life insurance. I think, what else have I missed?
Mhm. So you've talked about income protection, life insurance, critical illness.
Now, the critical illness is the one that a lot of people are skeptical about. Oh, I've never seen anyone uh, have a successful claim. Only you have had a successful claim and things like that. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why you need to look into the fine print of whatever policy you're signing. You need to look at the conditions covered. My serious illness payout did not pay because I had a cardiac arrest. It paid out because I was in a coma for a certain amount of time, 30 consecutive days in the hospital. What I now know then was that the serious illness that I had was the basic plan that that company had. If
Okay.
I'd had one or two tears over,
Yeah.
I would have had a lot more cover. So that's why with what I do and the serious illness or critical illness policies that I sign, they cover up to 174 different scenarios compared to 30 to 40 amongst the industry. And that's why I review people's policies for free. So I'll look through them. It's a free consultation. If you're not happy or you're happy with what you have, fine. If you are, then obviously we'll have a follow-up conversation and then put the right place serious illness cover for you. And then for a little bit extra, we will cover your children, all the children you have till age 23 as well.
Okay.
Oh, and that is also in trust as well. So if it pays out, it's completely shielded from your estate.
Okay, but so if someone is, before we go into the other things, power of attorney and all of that, bef if someone, because I'm sure there's some people who don't have all these things in place now, is there an age where you will say, well, I'm not sure if there's any point taking out any of these things now, or it doesn't matter? I mean, I know that the earlier the better. So the younger you are, the payout, well, hopefully the payout will be better. So if someone is 65, someone is on this platform now and 65, um, is there any point, or should they, what would you say?
I'll say there's a point. I mean, there's the expression, I think in investment or opportunity in life in general, the best time to have done anything was yesterday.
Yeah.
Because you didn't do it now doesn't mean it's too late. And because you're young, doesn't mean you can wait till today or tomorrow. I've gone through our system, and what I've seen is that age plays a big difference. Someone in their 30s, okay, example, someone in their 20s for £30 a month is guaranteed £400,000 for a future husband and children.
Okay.
Someone in their 40s for that same amount of money will probably guarantee maybe 200,000. And the for it, and the older you get, the less the payout. And as we've said, tomorrow is not promised to anyone. One day, Mr. Yoloye is working out regularly in the gym, whatever, fit. He has a cardiac arrest. Now I'm uninsurable.
Hmm. Oh,
So
you would. Oh, that's actually. So they're not going to show you.
no,
No.
so
Wow.
that's a warning to most people. You say, "Oh, Bolaji is selling the policy," things like that. It's the fact. I've seen it in real time. Someone I was talking to a while ago. Oh, I don't know about the money, things like that. We get the fact find, the policy drafted, stuff like that. He gets diagnosed with high blood pressure. Now he can't get the policy anymore. He needs to be because it was short notice. So he has to wait a few months before he can go back, which is good. There have been other situations where there's, oh, you've had a kidney transplant? Oh, that's a shame. Decline. So now she can't get a life policy.
Wow. Okay.
So it depends on the insurance company and how stringent they are on their underwriting rules.
Okay. But so basically, anyone you should do it now. Of course, they're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So we've talked about income protection, life insurance, critical illness. What's the next thing that one should go on to? The power of attorney. That's very important.
Yeah, for sure. But I think because we talked about insurance, I think it's prudent for you to look through your um, policy. When I used to look through my policy, I didn't look at the details every year or every other year. I used to look, the direct debits, okay. Okay, I think I'm be able to carry this on. But what I needed to, and I think I'll advise everyone to, is look at the policies you have in place. Is it still fit for purpose?
Mm,
You've refinanced your house.
yeah.
Are you covering the new debts that you've now carried on with your new mortgage? Those kind of things.
Yeah.
Uh, you've changed jobs. The old job would cover your sick pay for a year. Now you're a new job and there's no, if you're ill, you go straight to statutory sick pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happens then? So you always keep reviewing, making sure that everything's fit for purpose. And that's why I'm glad that I think God found a way for me to work in the company that I do, the way I do. Then I can share my screen with you, and you can choose which policy is fit for purpose within your budget, and then we'll take it from there. I hope I answered the question.
Yes. So basically, even if you have a policy in place now, and if you're going to get a policy, make sure you read the fine prints because it's
Yeah,
so important.
yeah.
Um,
Is it in trust? Does
okay.
it a waiver in premium? The expiry age? Oh, sorry. Waiver in premium. The scenario I'll explain is the best way to explain is that, okay, I'm in the hospital. There are a few bank accounts that I'm monitoring. One of them, because I'm in a coma, it's not been monitored. Direct debits bounce. The insurance company cancels the policy. A year later, we track back and say, oh, hold on, the cover is gone. What's happened? Oh, yeah, you weren't paying your bills, but I was in a coma. Oh, well, sorry, policy is gone. What I didn't know then was that there's an option called a waiver in premium, which we do by default, but a lot of companies do not. Is that if you're if you're ever unable to pay your direct debit, it's bounced or whatever,
Yeah.
they will come in, check on you. Oh, okay. The way it should have worked is they would have called one, oh, he's unwell. Okay. We will waive the premiums for a certain amount of time
Right.
because it's not fair for us to be charging him while he's having his nice nap
Yeah.
and then resume. So that's something to look out for in all your policies.
Oh gosh, as much as I agree with all this reading, I was like, gosh, do we have to go through all? But you have to read the small prints. If not, you'd have been paying all these premiums every month, and then when when you need the payouts, it's like, sorry, we can't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so why? Let me ask this question. A lot of people, I mean, maybe married couples or single parents, why do you think we are so fearful about having these conversations about all these things you've talked about? Why are we so fearful? I know we've said, yeah, no, we don't want to, but is there something else? Why don't you want to talk? Why don't we like talking about it? And especially because we said we're people of faith. If we're people
Yeah.
of faith, we know that, yes, God is going to protect us, but why do we not want to have these conversations that are so important? I remember I was talking to you the other day and I said, I know someone whose house got burnt and they didn't have building insurance. You have a house. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know their circumstances. I don't know what happened, but it's even the fear. Okay, I agree. Fear, acceptance of the eventuality. Yes, but we need to have these conversations. Yes, culture probably is also another thing, but even if you're fearful, if it's culture, God forbid, when these things happen, what are you going to do? I mean, this person that I'm talking about now, no building insurance. So we need to start having, I'm sorry, Bolaji, I know it's not, you probably won't have,
I know, I know, I know.
but we need to start having these conversations because what's that saying? Ignorance is not, what's that thing that they say about ignorance?
Yes.
Ignorance
It
is bliss.
is what?
Bliss.
It's not bliss. Yes. We need to start having this. Thank you. We need to start having these conversations. And, I think talking about responsibility, we owe it to our spouses, we owe it to our children to have all these things in place. Honestly, imagine you've worked all your life, and God forbid if someone passes away, the children are going to be like, so daddy worked for nothing. Daddy had this business. What have we got to show? What have we got to show? For all of that. Inheritance tax, is that the reason why you won't? I don't know. Yeah, cultural belief, ignorance is not, yeah, we really need to. And please, again, remember, you're not going to, just because you have income protection, critical illness, life insurance, wills, and all of that, it doesn't mean that you're going to die tomorrow, But actually, sorry, I
No,
just,
no worries.
I just had to say all of that because,
I I think you've alluded to it. The two aspects. It's a cultural thing. The white people. This is. It's not. Oh, if I have money or whatever. It's what's the word? It's a necessity, not
yeah,
a luxury.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, okay. I have car insurance. I have home insurance. I have life insurance. I'm going to insure myself for something that will happen, and I will insure myself for something that may happen.
Mm,
But we don't insure something that, I mean, we're going to die. I'm sorry to be morbid about it. At some point, we just don't know when. I think that the passage about the life is like a message, James 4:14. I was looking at it, you know. Yeah, no one knows when the hour will come. Ecclesiastes 9 verse 12. Um, Again, another true story. An old Two old friends meet. They go for a restaurant. They have a chat, whatever discussion, have a nice time. One of the men finally makes his way back home. He's getting undressed, whatever. He gets a call. do you know so? Say yes. Oh, I just had him. He said, please come with us. He goes to see the guy. He's like, please, can you identify this body? He's like, wait, how did you know? He's like, because you were the last person he spoke to.
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
And I heard father saying, well, what's in it for me?
What's in it for you?
What's in it for me? Anyway, I'll draw them to 1 Timothy 5 verse 18. Anyone who does not provide for their relatives and especially for their own household has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. So,
And it's not just providing when you're alive, it's also making sure that they're okay. And even the scripture that says that you leave an inheritance for your children's children.
yeah.
So it's so important. Yeah, it's a way of mitigating risk. We're not saying, no, these things may not happen, but if they do happen, at least you know that you have things in place. It's so important.
I mean,
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
may,
go.
Pastor, I think that Bible verse you mentioned, a wise person leaves an inheritance for his children's children, is why we formed Iyano Financial Services
Okay.
Limited, and that's our motto. I think one has put the link on the chat as well, because
Mm,
that's one of the things I'm really passionate about. The generational wealth, life insurance put in trust is the easiest, simplest way to leave a lasting inheritance behind.
wow. Okay. So, oh, wow. So, folks, I think you guys need to get in touch with Bolaji so he can explain more of these things. So, life insurance, how did you put it? Life insurance put in trust is a way to
It's the
guarantee.
simplest way to guarantee uh, a lasting inheritance, generational wealth. I mean, if you say you love your family,
Yeah,
you can pay 300, 400 pounds on a hire purchase car. So, I mean, everyone's financial circumstance is different.
yeah,
Just that disclaimer there. But if there's a way that you can go to sleep knowing that, okay, when I go to heaven, I'll be rejoicing in heaven, and my wife and kids won't be scrambling around for GoFundMe and having to sell the house, uh, or pull the kids out of school or whatever. Uh, yeah,
yeah. And it can be quite devastating for either the spouse that's left behind and the children when these things happen and then they don't have the money, like you said, pull out of school, change homes.
yeah.
Quite devastating.
Can you imagine the son just finding out, oh, hold on, daddy was running around all over the place, but he couldn't spare 45 minutes, an hour to just step back and safeguard his family's future.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I lost my dad when I was young, so I get it. The first few policies that I signed were people who lost their dad early, so there was no, oh, God said won't happen, blah blah blah. They signed up straight away.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that way.
Okay. But you know this thing that you talked about, life insurance put in trust. I'm sure, I mean, this could be another 1 hour talk, but you know the inheritance tax laws have changed now.
Hmm.
Um, so when you put this life insurance in trust, is it does it protect you from the inheritance tax or minimizes the tax that you have to pay?
So there are two types of trusts. I think from a high level, just the way I would explain is that there is an estate planning trust.
Okay.
So that's protecting your assets, mitigating the risk from the taxman on your death. You can have your discretionary trust, which means you're protecting there's more flexibility, it's more robust in protecting generational wealth. And then there's a bare trust, which is a very simple, basic trust. So I won't go into more detail on that, but that's on a high level. What I will speak to is on insurance trust, in that you've been paying your direct debits. You've been called to glory at whatever age that is. There's a 500,000 payout because the form has been done to be in trust. That means that 500,000 will not fall into your estate, which means the whole basket that the government can say, oh, hold on, can we see anything we can get there? That's 500,000 belongs in, I call it a magic box, which is completely shielded from the taxman, which the taxman cannot have any dibs on. And anyone can, I think I've spoken to one or two people about this, is that you can calculate how much your potential inheritance tax exposure is.
Right.
And once you have that figure, then you'll have a policy in place that will make sure that should you die, that money will just satisfy the taxman, and then all the assets you worked for will go direct to your loved ones.
Okay.
Without you having to sell one or two things, or all that kind of stuff. I hope all this is making sense.
Well, it is to me. I hope it's making sense to you. Guys, is it making sense to you? I hope so. Great. Okay. Folks, if you've got questions for Bolaji, please put the questions in the chat box so that he can answer them, because this 2026, we have to be more responsible. We have to take responsibility for our lives, ourselves. And it's not just pray. Prayer is good. Prayer is powerful, and having faith is good. But you also have to take responsibilities. I was going to ask a question now. Okay, just to give us an idea. I know it depends on the circumstances and all of that. What's the average cost for, let's say, I'm not sure, I mean, some of the people I know here, but let's say someone is 45 years old, for example, and they were taking out life insurance in trust, put in trust. What's the average premium that they're looking at paying? And I'll tell you why in a minute, but what's the average?
I think that question is subjective. I get it a lot. It depends on your budgets, whatever. But there's some factors that will come in play. Okay, your height and weight.
Okay.
Your height, weight, and age. So the insurance company will assess that, and if there's a
You
high
have to go for
BMI,
a medical.
yeah, they will check your GP reports in some cases. Yeah,
Okay.
check your GP reports. But before they do anything, there will be an assessment, an initial pre-assessment, pre-sales or underwriting, just to assess. Okay, for this person, we're willing to take his risk. Okay, it's within the BMI range. Fine, we'll offer standard rates. Okay, slightly heavier than normal. Well, still in good health. We'll apply something called a loading. So that'll be like, it could be 20% on top, 30% on top of standard rates. A slight segue. We Black people, sadly, we suffer from that with our big bones and stuff. So you see sometimes they see the figure, there's a high BMI, oh, it's too expensive. They don't take any cover at all, when some cover is better than none. So I would say that affects the prices. If you smoke, or you've smoked within the last 5 years, that's going to affect the price you're going to pay, because they say that you've got more risk and they'll be higher. But again, what I think age also plays a part as well. The younger you are, the cheaper the premiums are. So the sooner you do it, the better. But I think one of the things that I do about is I ask people, okay, what are you comfortable paying?
Mm.
It has to be something you're comfortable paying, that you're not going to be, oh, every month, oh, this is bothering me, all that kind of stuff. It'll be something that, okay, I can drop the takeout for this month,
Yeah.
just to make sure it's going. Because if you cancel the direct debits and then you come back 4 or 5 years time, you don't know what your health condition is going to be. You don't know if it's going to be heavy. You don't know if you had a life-changing event. I think the stats of in the countries, at least 1 in 3 people in this country have suffered some sort of cancer diagnosis or whatever. And a life-changing event before the age of 50, I think, is 1 in 4. So just be mindful. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bolaji. Someone just asked a question. Can I take a life insurance for my son who is 18?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. If I mean to ask that in more detail, please reach out to me via the websites. I think website and LinkedIn I'm quite active in, but maybe the websites. There was a question about diet that I think I need
Yes, to go back to that.
to go back
Did
to.
you,
Yeah.
did you make any other changes, health habits, lifestyle after your near-death experience?
Think initially I didn't, but one thing, a phone number to reach him is available. Okay, yeah. One thing that did happen was that leaving the hospital and then coming out. Okay, so no more potato and stuff. Egusi, jollof. I blew up to 123 kilos.
Wow.
So I was like, it was a lot. So I couldn't fit into any of my clothes and anything like that. So I had to walk regularly, lots of walking. Started going to the gym. I couldn't go to the gym straight away, but I did face my lots of walking.
Hmm.
I had to change. Actually, in the middle of all that, then my device gave me a shock. So when a device gives you a shock, it's like you've been shot in the chest.
For those who don't know, what device are you talking about?
In the device being an ICD, an intercardial defibrillator. So it's like in the movies when they say, everyone clear, shock, shock. Well, imagine that the shock happening from inside your body. So, and why? Yeah. And why I was running, I go running happened, so I can't run ever again. I had
Wow.
to change my meds, and with each shock, I needed um psychological support. So I had to avoid caffeine in my diets, started having whole meals, food, cut out white carbs, um, leafy greens, broccoli. Um, yeah. So as a result, I've lost about 15, 16 kilos in about a year and a half, but I still need to. I'm starting to wear some of the old suits that I had made oh, sorry, about 10, 15 years ago. I need to get back into them. So diet is important. Gut health is important for your mental well-being. And your diet will also help you with your insurance premiums as well. I hope
Okay.
I've answered those questions. So.
Yes, you have. You have. Someone said, "I've never smoked or drunk, but she has cancer now. Do I need to inform the company my policy is with?"
Yeah, I would say yes. Sorry? Yeah, actually, to be honest, just call me and I will discuss that in detail because I really want to, I don't want to say yes and, I'd expect yes, but just call me and then we'll discuss that and I'll check with the underwriters on our side as well if that's how it should work. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank
who
you.
was that person asking the question?
I think it's Christina. I'll
Oh,
send her your number.
okay.
Even the Bolaji, I said Bolaji. Wonu's put it on the
Okay.
screen. Great. Okay. Thank you. Um, Yeah.
Sorry, one is prompting me about, okay. So we talked about this, but I'll talk again. Because you're paying insurance doesn't mean it has to be expensive. We've got premiums for as little as £7 a month to protect income protection, seven, £8 a month.
Okay.
Uh, for £30 a month, I've already mentioned that as well. There's a young lady who's protected 400K for a future family. So that's a 20-something-year-old. Then there's a 50-something-year-old woman who, for the same 30K, is now protecting 100K. So you can see the difference in age for the same premium, if
Okay.
that makes sense. So the sooner you get that done, the better. It doesn't have to be a huge sum of money. At least some cover is better than none at all.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good thing one knows. Yeah. So, shameless plug. If you want more detailed consultation, go to my website, and we offer a free 15-minute consultation. You can send your policies across. There's no there's no charge or fee or anything as well. If you're comfortable and you in agreement, okay, that you want protection in place, then there'll be a follow-up consultation where the rights, I'll use IT technology now, the rights policies will be configured and then deployed a month later. So there's no money going out of your money straight away. It'll be about a month later. You can choose what day of the month the direct debit comes out. Yeah.
Okay. So please reach out to Bolaji. Again, the his website and all of that is in the chat box. Again, let me ask the audience a question. And I know some of you may not want to
Oh,
admit
I'm so
this.
sorry, Pastor. I just saw a question from the chat.
Yeah.
If you have a life policy and you have a choice between reviewable and guaranteed, do not choose the reviewable
Why
because the
not?
reviewable means that uh, every certain age band that they will say, okay, are you still healthy? We'll cover you. Are you still healthy? We'll cover you. If you're not,
We won't cover
then
you.
you may not get any cover at all. So it has to be a guaranteed life policy. That's what Yano Financial Services does by default.
Okay. So guaranteed life policy, not reviewable.
Not reviewable.
Okay. Some of you need to go and check your life insurance. Please check it. Um,
Or they'll say, oh, till age 80, then we'll review. I mean, at age 80, your life insurance policy is going to be like, I don't know, 300, £400 a month. You
mm,
might as well just have paid till age 90 and have like a guaranteed premium since then. Yeah.
okay. Someone said I have a cover open 20 years ago and will mature in 6 years. I can't extend it. Is that because it's one of those that's guaranteed to 80 or something?
Yeah, it's probably linked to a mortgage or something. So a lot of us in our 50s, I'm seeing a lot of them. Oh man, my policy expires in 5, 6 years. What do I do? Well, reach out and we'll be sure to help.
Someone put, she put, does one get any money for staying alive? TK.
Yes, you can.
I like that question.
You can. Obviously, you can stay alive, but you can have life-changing events that will happen.
Yeah.
There will be payouts that will protect you in that case. So yes, you'll be alive, but it doesn't mean you have to force yourself back to work or sell assets or change your lifestyle because you didn't pay insurance. So yes, you can get paid. And also, at some point, I'm sorry to say, we're all going to go to everyone at some point, but you can have a whole of life policy which will cover you till age 100, 120 or whatever. So it is guaranteed
Okay.
for your loved ones and beneficiaries.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, they should pay one for staying alive because some people do at least to stay alive or live long and in good health. So at least you should be able to get something and enjoy some of it. Um, Another thing, I'm not sure if you cover, if it's something that your company does, pensions, um, as in who gets how do your family, when maybe something happens, you pass on, do they get your pension pot, anything from your pension pot at all? Is that something that you guys cover?
I I can't speak to pensions, but reach out to me. There's a guy that I'm working in partnership with, and he does
Pensions.
pensions. He
Okay.
does pensions, and what he also does is he helps. Many of us have worked at 4 or 5 different companies. Their pensions floating all over the place.
Yeah.
What it will do is help you collect the pensions together. Yeah, so reach out and you can advise to that as well.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much. Folks, 2026, we are going to do better. Bolaji, anything else you want to say to our audience before we leave? Anything else that can help? Anything? If there was one takeaway from today's session, what would it be? What would you want it to be?
Oof. Has it been an hour already?
Yeah.
Uh, there's a few things I could say, what was that? But let me look for it. Just quote it properly. Some
And 𝗕𝗶𝗁,
yes. So, I mean, the Proverbs 27, verse 1, do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what the day may bring. So we don't just assume that tomorrow is guaranteed. Anything can happen at any time. And faith is about trusting God's character, but responsibility shows God's commands. We read the Bible about Joseph and 7 years of famine years. So
Yeah.
that faith without the actions and actually working on the scripture
Yeah.
is almost like a sin. I can't put it in any other way. So, oh, God said it won't happen. No, 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 no. I'm here to help and advise. I've got the experience, almost a year of doing this now, and I've learned the hard way. Policies that paid out and policies that did not pay out as well. So, yeah, walk in faith, act in faith.
Walk in faith, act in faith. Be prepared. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you to know what. This is just, I know I'm sure everyone, we all know these things. But now and this year is the year to start to do something about all these things that you know. So,
Yeah.
a recap: income protection, very important. Life insurance and trust, especially very trust, critical illness, and then of course the power of attorney, because Bolaji had critical illness, income protection and all of that in place. But
No, I didn't have income protection. That was my gap.
oh, sorry, it was the critical illness that you
Yeah,
had. Okay, but Wano couldn't access, his wife couldn't access it
yeah,
because she didn't have the power of attorney. So
yeah.
please, and the power of attorney, you can do it yourself if you go onto the Gov. Wano, please, can you post that link again? You can do it yourself or use a solicitor to do it, because it can be a bit complicated. But please, 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 um, let's make this necessary changes. Not you're not going to die tomorrow. Definitely, you will not die tomorrow by God's grace. Uh,
Amen.
oh,
Yeah.
or help the aged can help you. Okay. Apparently, help the aged can help you do the power of attorney too. I love what sorry, Morenike has just put up Balaji's quote. Faith is about trusting God's character, but responsibility shows God's command. Absolutely. So please. Okay. Power of attorney with solicitor is not too pricey, and they register it for you too. Okay. Well, so if you want to use a solicitor for the power of attorney, very important to do that. Wills are important too.
Very, very important.
Very, very important, yes. Um, so please, let's be responsible this year. Please, it's so important. And Bolaji is here to help you. go visit his website, reach out to him. And if you've missed the link or any way, shape, or form on his not his account number, his mobile number, reach out to me, and I will definitely send you all the details. And I'll actually post his details too on our social media platform so that you can reach out to him. So please
Yeah.
do that, and yeah, and we'll all be
Thank you so much for the platform. Yeah, I think one of from personal experience, she's putting it there. Make sure I mention this as well. Insurance is not a want; it is a need. She can
insurance.
speak to
It
that.
is, yeah, it is. And I think somebody put it up earlier on that a lot of us, the insurance that we have are the ones that we know that if we don't have them, they will be prosecuted. So your car insurance and all of that.
Yeah,
But these ones too, they're very important. And like Bolaji just said, they're not a want, it's a need. You need to have life insurance and all this other critical illness, income protection, and power of attorney. All of these things, they're important. Please, um, let's be responsible adults. And then keep all your documents. I was telling Bolaji that I came across this thing on Instagram where they were saying to have a wallet, a place where you have all your all your documents, or at least information about where they are kept, so that God forbid, if anything happens to you, your children are not looking all over the place, your spouse is not looking all over the place for all the records and all the documents. So
yeah,
please have that somewhere where they know. And do you know, when we were growing up, my father didn't tell us about, in fact, I think he wanted to protect, not to protect, he didn't want us to grow up as spoiled brats. So he kept a lot of things. He didn't tell us about some of his properties and some of the things that he had, which was not good. But as soon as your kids are old enough, please tell them know all these things that you have. Let them know where this is. Let them know your account. Hopefully they're responsible children, but tell your children about what's going on with you so that they're not marriage certificate. Yes, label it, all these things. Yes, please. Let's talk about these things, even with our
yeah,
spouses. Let's share account details. If you've got nothing to hide, share your account details. Let them know how much, even simple things like how much you're paying for premiums, you're paying for, all these things that you're paying for. Have these discussions. And even if you're not married, I'm so sorry. Somebody puts extra children. Bimbola, if you have extra children, what does that mean? Um, no, we don't have that. Nobody has extra children.
well, yeah, I see where she's coming from. I'll just move on. But one thing she did mention though was that
Yeah.
about your policies, have them at hand. If you can, have them digital. Because a lot of people I'm speaking to now, it's taking them weeks to find their policies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Scrambling all over the place. Again, another true story. I'm going to share one. Uh, a mentor of mine, he has a conversation with this guy. Okay, getting his policies in place, trying to find the paperwork. Okay, he's found, he's agreed. Okay. Oh yeah, now time to call the guy. I was like, he hasn't heard from the guy. Someone calls him and said, you didn't know? He died now. He died in a car accident. So the
Wow.
policy were already ready to sign,
Wow. Wow.
and that's it. Whereas if he signed it, you're covered from the moment you sign it, even before the money leaves the account. It's a fact. It's not, some people say, "Oh, it's too good to be true," but no, you've signed a document.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm being remembered. Yeah,
Yeah,
probate as well.
probate does take time. Yeah.
Yeah, so the insurance premium payout in trust avoids the delay of probate. The money comes out straight away.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
See, after
so
the story you
please
just
reach
said,
out on my webpage, mobile phone available.
so, this thing that you've just said now about this guy that passed on just before he signed the thing means that you guys must do it this weekend. Reach out to Bolaji, and before the end of January, please let's try and sort all these things out. There are one or two things I need to I need to sort out. So we're all doing it now. Yes, sis, let me say, we are all
Yeah.
doing it now. Bolaji, let me know if, I don't want names, I don't want, but let me know the number of people that have reached out to you. If not, we're going to shout out about this
Where
again.
is the roll call? There are 99 people. Oh, 99
Okay,
comments.
let's see. How many people are going to, it doesn't, and honestly, as much as we all want Bolaji, it does not necessarily have to be Bolaji. It could be
Correct.
someone
Yeah.
else because,
Correct.
but at least do something. So I want to see me done, or if you're going to take action this week, this month, let me see. Let me see. Thank you, DBC. Thank you, Abimbola. Okay, sis, done already.
Oh, if
And
you're
then
booking
so,
appointments, please
oh,
avoid
fantastic.
Wednesday.
They've already booked with you. Fantastic. Well
Mm.
done. Good, 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 good. I love that. Okay, have
God
some.
bless you.
Please, I mean, there are 63, and I think there was now we're 71 people on the screen. I hope
Wow.
everybody at least have something in place or going to have something in place. Review your policies daily. Well done. You're going to review your policies. Done. Review. Fantastic. Well done. We're all responsible people, responsible adults. We have faith. Definitely, we have faith. But we're also very responsible. Ade, well done. Great. Okay. Let's not waste your time again. Thank you so much, Bolaji. I'm grateful to God that you're alive to share this with us. So let's appreciate Bolaji. Let's thank God for his life.
Ah,
God brought him, saved him, preserved him for such a time as this, so that those people that don't want to hear will hear through Bolaji's testimony. Thank you.
my people perish for the lack of wisdom. We've shared the wisdom, so let's avoid punishments.
Yes, so please. All right, folks. Thank you. See you next week by the
Thank
grace.
you so
See
much.
you.
Really appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
God bless.
God bless. See you, folks. Bye.
Bye.